What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is the day before we leave for power tour, and like I said in the last video, I kind of skipped out on showing you guys everything that I did to the car. So I'll do a quick little walk around video, show you what we're going to be taking on power tour. Then hopefully tomorrow we'll be starting on the daily little vlogs of power tour. So here sits the Dart. So obviously it is now 360 Magnum powered T56 swapped. We've got a good old T56 in here. American Powertrain helped supply the bell housing. I have a Malwood clutch pedal. I love the Malwood clutch pedal. It was so easy. I say it was easy. It did require little modifications. It wasn't 100% bolt in, but it was very close. It may just be this car was produced a little differently than some other cars, and I had to like do a little grinding on a bolt, but otherwise it was not that bad. And I'll show you where I put my reservoir here in just a minute. I changed it up a little bit from the way that they sent it to me because I liked this way better. It looked a little cleaner. As far as the interior in the car, I now have some seats out of a 2016 Volkswagen Jetta and a center console out of a 2020 Dodge Challenger. Originally, it started as a automatic console, and then I finally found a manual boot. I'm going to do something up here in the future with it. I don't know yet. It's kind of last minute deal, but the console fits really well in here. Obviously, I'm leaving that window there for my gauges. I'll do something like with the gauges up here in the future, but for now, that's fine. The console is super comfortable. It's got room in here. It's got all kind of little accessories, like, I don't know if you can see it or not. There's one of the charging ports. There's charger ports in here. The Jetta seats, super comfortable. Way more comfortable than the stock buckets that were in it. And these have all kind of adjustment. There's your front and back here. You got your lumbar. You got where it goes up and down. And we did have to do some custom brackets for these seats. Hold on. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a stand. And then let me go back here. There's a stand. And there's a stand. So we didn't use hardly any factory holes, especially not on the passenger side. The driver's side hole, it lines up on this one right here. That bolt lines up with the factory bench seat hole right there. And then made it, to fit the rest of it and go off of that. The tunnel had to be widened a lot. I have some pictures of that before we did all the carpet work and everything, but you can actually see I had to split my automatic carpet pretty good bit. So the tunnel is much bigger, but it's braced. I had a buddy do that. He's an excellent fabricator, and so I didn't really have a lot of time with work, and so I sent it up there to him, and he knocked the tunnel out, knocked the seat mounts out. He did an excellent job. Really good work. Couldn't be happier with that. We also added an X pipe to the exhaust, which changed up the sound. I'll put a picture of that up here. But as far as the interior of the car, other than the Jetta seats, the console, and the fact that there is a T56 shifter right there now, it's relatively the same in here. Not a whole lot. Now, we did do some changes out under the hood, as well as some suspension changes. I don't have it on lift right now, but now we have QA1 double adjustable rear shocks and double adjustable front shocks. They make a world of a difference over the stock shocks on these cars. Opening the hood, ta-da. So, with the Magnum serpentine belt setup that I was running, or that I'm running now, the old fabricated aluminum valve covers, well, they no longer fit because the power stud on the alternator hit them. Where the aluminum ones, they were really tall, alternator hit, was not going to work. And I've always wanted an excuse to get these Mopar Performance valve covers, and this was my excuse. And I gotta say, I love it. Love the look. I picked up this. It's a 4-barrel based. I think it's like for a 383 4-barrel. Don't know. Air grabber, I guess. I don't really know what exactly this breather is classified as. It's not a 6-pack, because this one's not a 6-pack, obviously. But if you know, let me know. You know, let me know what that term is, what it's supposed to be called. But I had to do some modifications to make it fit below the hood. I had to cut down the base a pretty good bit because I do have an air gap intake down there. But everything that I did to it was absolutely worth it. That looks so good. Then we're going to be cooling this thing with cold case radiators. I have one on the Valiant. It did really, really well. And I said, I got to have one again. So that's what we did. Got a cold case in it. I haven't even seen this car get over 180 yet. Cruising down the road, 160. And it has a 180 thermostat, a new one at that. But it run 160 all day long. And I haven't seen it get over 180 yet. Especially not since just last night, I made this fan shroud out of some ABS in a garbage can. I still hadn't even cleaned my paint marks up. It was so last minute. But hey, 20 bucks, it works. It's sturdy. You say it wobbles right there a little bit, but the fan doesn't suck it in. It works really well. I got some Evil Bay, whatever, universal overflow expansion, whatever there. I gotta have that so I can run autocross and drag racing on Power Tour. Here is my Malwood reservoir setup. So I don't know if you could see in there, but the master cylinder, oh, you can kind of see it just right there. The hose, I drilled a hole and got a grommet in it. I have the hose coming through the firewall, and this used to be a straight fitting. I made it a 90. That way it can go straight back. Looks a lot cleaner. I like it a lot better right there than my other options, which would have been like up here or way up there. I didn't like it. That turned out really good. So far, I've actually I've been fighting a lifter tick issue with the stock lifters. Not long ago, after getting the car running again, it had a pretty good lifter tick. Just stock lifters on like a 555 lift cam. It never ticked before, but all of a sudden it started. I didn't want to run into any trouble on Power Tour, so I got on Hughes Engines and ordered their slow bleed down lifters for Magnums. They're pretty salty. And I didn't fix my issue. Now, I called them. They told me I may have some trash in my oil. You know, they're right. I may have some trash in my oil. I run some cleaner through it, and I built this engine 3 years ago. It's always had the exact same amount of oil pressure as it had the day I crunk it up the first time. It really good. Been doing me really good. I've always run Mo 1 1030 in it. Well, I don't really want to, but it quietens it down a bunch. I put some 01 1040, and I replaced 1 quart of that with 1 quart of Lucas. I always run zinc additive, even though it is a roller motor. And it seems to be pretty quiet. We'll see how it does on this 2,000 mile trip, but it's doing all right. We've been doing a lot of carburetor tuning. So under this breather here, we have a York's, I have a shirt on, York's Garage Modified, blow through Holley 750 double pumper that they had on a twin turbo 377 powered S10 back in the day. And it's just a really good working carburetor. We stuck it on this car. We've been doing some jet changes and everything. We've been tuning the accelerator pump, different squirter, different accelerator pump cam. I think we finally got it. Dialed in about where we want it. Cruising AFR usually sticks around 14.5, 14.7. Wide open throttle, you're getting 12, 12.2, 12.4, around about, fluctuating a little, you know, but it's been doing pretty good. So I can't complain about that at all. But yeah, so far it's been doing pretty good. I'll try to post some pictures of the transmission mount and how that ended up. I made a mistake in the last video. I think I made some words at the bottom that said this is not correct. Well, I think I have a picture of how it is correct, how it's supposed to be done. But we got that taken care of. For a clutch I'm using in here, it was like a McLeod Street Pro or something. I got it secondhand from a buddy. It was from Silver Sport Transmissions, I think. And McLeod Street Pro clutch and pressure plate kit, it's doing fine. Silver Sports flywheel, all that seems to be working. I'm using that Malwood clutch pedal with a GM. I got it from Tick Performance slave cylinder. I had to space it out. You see the last video, I'll show you how I had to space it out a lot more, or shim it out. a lot more than what you'd expect, but had to do it. It's been working good. Can't complain about it. So let me see what else. We actually lucked up at a junkyard, got a junkyard drive shaft that fit right in here, and we had a running car again. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, I'd say. Nothing too snazzy, but the T56 did wake the car up a pretty good bit, made it a blast to drive. So I'm pretty excited to get out here for power tour and put a couple thousand miles on it. The car, we washed it up today. I'm getting some sweet patina, patina sauce for it. Gonna wipe it down. That really makes this car look super, super good. That patina sauce does. So hopefully we can get that patina sauce snapped on there probably one day at a venue this week. I don't have it now, but it's supposed to be there, so we'll see. We got banging headlights lighting the way. Glad to have them on here. Wouldn't have a classic car that has a 7-inch headlight without some banging headlights on it. They really make a huge difference. So yeah, I think that's all. I'm sure I missed like a ton of stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it come out. It's a blast to drive. Oh, another thing I did actually is I was running 355 gears in the rear end. Well, the T56 6 gear was useless with 355s. It was like 13 or 1200 RPM at 70. It was not having it. So I actually got some 430s in the rear end now. 430 Sure Grip, and it loves the 430s. 6 gear at 70 is like 2100 RPM. It's completely usable. 50 and 55, 60 mile an hour. It's super usable. It's around 1700 RPM through those. It's pretty happy. The car is geared pretty good for a 26-inch tall tire. That 430 was what this thing needed. I did put that one together, put all new bearings in that 489 case, pinion, or crush sleeve, delete, Richmond gear 430 with a clutch style Sure Grip. It's been doing really good. So hopefully, I think we're pretty well packed up and washed up and as good as we're gonna get for the power tour. So wish us luck. I'll try to catch up in the morning on day 0. I'm gonna call this day -1. But tomorrow will be day 0. Just be a travel day to get out to the event. Then day 1 will be Monday. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll follow along this week. We'll see you later.